Hi everybody and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm here for you with a top 15 of my personal favorite possession horror movies. Before we start, please don't forget to subscribe. It's down here, just one click on that red button. And when you click on the bell next to it, you will be notified every time that I upload. This list is in no particular order. I love all of them. It's my personal top 15, but it doesn't matter on which place they are in the list. With all of that being said, let's jump into the video. First up, The Taking of Deborah Logan. This found footage horror movie from 2014 keeps many people on the edge of their seats. The Taking of Deborah Logan is about an elderly woman battling Alzheimer's disease. She agrees to let a film crew document her condition, but what they discover is something far more sinister going on. Second, The Exorcism of Emily Rose. I saw this 2005 horror movie pretty young. It's one that I'll always remember and revisit. With an amazing performance of the lead actress Jennifer Carpenter. This movie follows a lawyer who takes a homicide case involving a priest who performs an exorcism on a young girl. Then of course, The Shining. Of course, this beautiful classic from Stanley Kubrick made this top 15 list. One of my personal favorite movies of all time. This movie is about a family that stays in an isolated hotel for the winter, where a sinister presence influences the father into violence. Still to this day an easy watch and aged beautifully because of the great camera work, practical effects and of course Jack Nicholson. Do I need to say more? Next, The Autopsy of Jane Doe. This movie from 2016 was a great surprise and a real nail-biter. This movie is about a father and son who are pulled into a complex mystery while attempting to identify the body of a young woman who was apparently harboring dark secrets. My boyfriend was very badly affected by this movie and especially the bell. If you watch this movie, you know what I'm talking about when I say the bell. The next movie, The Conjuring. Although there are some bad movies in the Conjuring universe, it all started with a great movie from director James Wan. This movie is about paranormal investigators Ed and Lorraine Warren. They try to help a family terrorized by a dark presence in their farmhouse. Next up, the Amityville Horror, the original from 1979, but also the remake in 2005. Jay Anson claimed this movie is based on a true story. It's about newlyweds moving into a large house where a mass murder was committed, but it doesn't take long before strange things start happening. It's a controversial opinion, not everybody likes the remake. I like both of them. I think the 2005 version is a great remake in my opinion. I like both of them. This list wouldn't be complete without the movie The Exorcist. This classic from 1973 is a must-watch. This movie is about a 12-year-old girl who is possessed by a mysterious entity. Her mother seeks the help of two priests to save her. If you haven't watched this one, please do. Grab some popcorn and watch it tonight. Then I had to put Sinister on this list. Sinister is a 2012 horror movie from Scott Derrickson. This is a movie I still enjoy very much, with one of my favorite music scores in horror movies ever. This movie is about a washed up true crime writer Ellison Oswald and his family. He finds a box of Super 8 home movies which suggests the murder he's currently researching is the work of a serial killer whose work dates back to the 1960s. Next up, Paranormal Activity. Love it or hate it, this 2007 horror movie revived the found footage genre in horror. In my personal opinion, this is a good movie, made with a low budget but still gets the job done to scare the audience. This movie is about a young happy couple moving in a suburban home, but their happiness quickly fades when they increasingly get disturbed by a demonic presence. Then The Last Exorcism. This found footage possession movie from Daniel Stam was released in 2010. The Last Exorcism is about a troubled minister who agrees to let his last exorcism be filmed by a documentary crew. I really enjoyed this possession movie, especially because I didn't have have high hopes when I started watching this, because I thought the simple possession movies were overdone, but this is definitely a fun watch. Next up, Evil Dead, the classic from 1987 but also the remake of 2013. Again a classic but also a good remake. The Evil Dead is about 5 friends who travel to a cabin in the woods, where they unknowingly release demons. This movie is fun and gross with some gore. I think this is a good horror movie to watch with friends. I was debating this one, but next up is Annabelle Creation. The sequel to the not so great Annabelle movie is Annabelle Creation. Although the Annabelle series is not one of my favorites, the second movie I really love. Directed by David Sandberg. He really made something great out of this sequel and in my opinion made it better than the first movie. What doesn't happen often. This movie starts 12 years after the tragic death of their little girl. A doll maker and his wife welcome a nun and several girls from a shuttered orphanage into their home, where they become the target of the doll maker's possessed creation Annabelle. Then I had to put Veronica on this list. Veronica was a 2017 Spanish horror movie and Netflix sensation. This movie is about a teen girl that finds herself being followed by an evil supernatural force after she played Ouija with 2 classmates. This movie was hyped for a good reason, a fun and scary watch that will keep you on your toes throughout the movie. Next, Ouija Origin of Evil. Another sequel that's better than the first movie. This 2016 movie directed by Mike Flanagan surprised horror fans. This movie is set in 1967 Los Angeles. A widowed mother and her daughters add a new stunt to bolster their seance scam business by inviting an evil presence into their home, not realizing how dangerous it is. Last up, Insidious. Last but not least is the 2010 horror movie Insidious directed by James Wan. This is a very well known and loved movie. I had to put it on this list, although it's not one of my own personal favorites. A family is trying to save their son who is trapped on the other side while being in a coma. So that concludes my personal top 15 possession horror movies. I would love to know if I missed one of your favorites. Please let me know down here in the comments. I would love to watch them. If you liked this video, please don't forget to give it a like and also subscribe down here for more movie reviews, unboxings and other spooky content. And I hope to see you in my next video. Bye!